Okay, so inside of a spaceship there's air. So they can talk to each other when they're inside, or when their masks have air, they can talk into a microphone. But what about outside in the place in space where there's no air? Do you think there's any sound? There really isn't any sound. So let's pretend that we have a jet or a rocket ship here, and it's flying over our heads, and we're out in space. And this is like Star Wars or Star Trek or one of those shows. What kind of sound do we hear on television when that happens? Make a sound like a spaceship would make. Yeah, that's what we all hear on television. You know what it actually sounds like? You know what it actually sounds like? Like this. You can't hear anything because there's no air to vibrate your ears. So you couldn't hear a thing. So it's sort of fake the way they do things in the movies to make you think that the spaceship is making sound. Because that's what our brain tells us should happen, but it really doesn't. So we need air in order to vibrate our ears to make sound. Okay, what are some sounds? Yeah.
Like if you go up in the mountains, talk real loud, it'll go out real far and bounce back.
You know what that's called?
Echo.
Echo. You know why it's echoing? Because the sound, what happens when the sound goes out and comes back? You hear it when? At the same time, it's bouncing off something else. That's right. Bounces off of a mountain, maybe?
It bounces off of something hard, and then it bounces back to the
That's right.
person who's off. Like in the Grand Canyon.
Like in the Grand Canyon. You know why you don't hear it right away?
It takes a little while for it to reach some spot that that the sound can't travel through.
That's right. And it takes time to go to a place where it's going to reflect, bounce off of, and then come back like a mirror. Very good.
And then it goes back.
If I were very far away from a mountain and I shouted at it, would the sound come back to me right away, or would it take some time?
Take some time.
It would take some time. The farther away I get from that mountain, does the sound get slower or faster? Slower. So if we have a very big canyon and we're talking to a big canyon, the sound comes back to us in a long amount of time. Like an hour, maybe less. But okay, so those things are all around us. What about sounds that we hear every day? How about the sound of animals? What flies up in the sky? Birds. Eagles, birds. Okay. Can you make a sound like a bird would make? Very good. All right, how about an animal that's in a zoo that has a very long mane and yeah, what's that called? What animal is that? Lion or tiger. All right, make a sound like a very ferocious tiger. Okay, how about this half making a sound like a tiger, and then this half making a sound like a bird? All right, first the tiger. All right. Oops. All right, now the bird. What's the difference between those two sounds? How about the purple girl here? What was the tiger sound like?
Tiger is lower and bird is higher.
Very good. What is lower and higher? Does anybody know what the word is that means lower and higher? Or what we're talking about? We talk about pitch. That's how high or how low the sound is. A very high pitch is something like a bird, like, and a very low sound, low pitch is like, that's a low tone. How about, what other kinds of things can we say about sounds? What about when you're in a library? What do they tell you to do?
Be quiet.
Be quiet. And how do you whisper? How about if you're at a football game and your team just scored a touchdown. How do you sound? What's the difference between those two sounds? One is, well, it's not pitched now. Well, it could be pitched, but one is loud and one is soft. That's what we want to know. One is loud and one is soft. So sounds have loudness, sounds have pitch. Okay? Those are some of the things that sounds have. Okay, that's very good. You guys are very educated. Okay, let's look at some of the ways that sounds can be made. Here I got a number of different instruments and things that you could find around the house. And we're just going to see how sounds are made. Oops. Here's a neat little thing. Has anybody ever seen one of these? It's like a kazoo. It's actually a little whistle. And it goes like this.
Stop chattering back there. I can't hear.
Whoops. Wrong. Can anybody make a sound like that by themselves? Very good. You know what happened? When I started blowing on that, the pitch was very what? Low. And as I went up, the pitch went up. Listen. Sounds like a motorcycle. Let me see if I can make that sound into the microphone. All right, let's see here. Okay, everybody be quiet. It sounded different, didn't it? It sounded louder, didn't it? Why did it sound loud? And you also heard something echoey?
Yeah.
Did you hear something echoey? Let's try it again. Let's turn this control up a little bit. That's better. Does that sound like we're in a cavern now?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Let's turn off the lights.
Did you hear the sound afterwards? Echoing? Listen very carefully.
I heard it.
Did you hear that? It sounded like we were in a canyon, didn't it?
Yeah, I heard it the first time.
Let's pretend we're in a canyon and yell, hello! Ready? Let me turn one thing on here.
Uh-oh, it's gonna be
All right, everybody ready? When I say go, you yell hello as loud as you can. Ready? Go. Did you hear it? Very good. Well, we'll get to that. Here's another instrument. You know what this is called? Kazoo.
I have one of those.
Do you?
I made one of those.
Okay.
You made one.
Candy
You know what's in a kazoo? Let's take the kazoo apart
Tiny,
just
I think it's a
very
tiny
quickly.
paper.
Yeah.
It's a tiny paper. Tiny
See, a tiny piece of paper.
And it vibrates.
And it vibrates. Sort of like what?
The air.
An air drum. That's very good. So let's put it inside again. If I can. I hope I didn't break it.
I think you did.
I think I did. No, it just doesn't.
No, what you're supposed to do is put it in the air.
There. Now I got it. All right.
Use it.
See here. Okay. I'm doing something while I'm doing this. This is my own little thing. I'll show you what happens later on. Okay, I'm going to make a sound like this. You hear it vibrating? Now, if I just blew in there, nothing would happen. Listen. I blew in there, nothing happened, just wind. Hear it? I have to hum.
I know.
Can anybody hum? And when you hum in a kazoo, it sounds like this. It does, doesn't it? A cow. Make a sound like a cow. Very good. You guys are good. Okay, here's another another instrument. Has anybody ever seen these before?
Yeah.
Anybody know their name?
No.
No? They're called castanets. Oh, you were going to tell me, huh? All right, what are they called? Castanets. I don't know how to play castanets. Does anybody know how to play castanets? You do? Why don't you come up and show me how to do them? Well, at least you can make a sound with them. If you don't know how to play them. Let's hear you make a sound. Very good. That's a good way to do it. When Spanish dancers dance sometimes, they put them on their fingers and they do that. I'm not very good at it, but that's the sound. You hear the echo? What amount of time do we have? Sure. Yeah, how long? 10:15.
10:50 and come back in at 11 o'clock.
Okay, and then I'll do some things with this. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, we're gonna go for another few minutes, then we're gonna take a recess break, okay? And then we're gonna come back and do some more things with it. But so far, we've done a lot of things with sounds. Let me make one more sound, or two more sounds. And the way I'm gonna do that is magic. We set this like this. Okay, ready? I'm gonna make this into the microphone now. Okay, here we go. Hear that? It sounds like Echo in the Canyon, huh? I got one more thing that's neat. We did the rubber band, didn't we? I got one more thing that's pretty neat. What are these? Cups. Glass cups. I want those. What do they do? Let's do something with them. Put one here, one here.
Oh, I know.
Listen. You hear it?
That one's good. The other one's moving.
What's moving?
The other glass.
The other glass is moving? Because that one's moving? Yeah, you can say that. Let me put it over here all by itself.
Now it's not.
Now it's
Because
not.
they're farther away.
Yeah.
It has to be on the same thing to make it move.
That's right. What do we hear here? We hear a sound?
Yeah.
Is it a low sound or a high sound? High pitch sound. You want to know how to make it lower?
I'm wondering how much they're going to remember from September because we've talked about these things. They remember if you tell
Okay.
them.
All right. Let's see if you know how. Yeah, that does it. What else?
You could put water in it and then hit it in there.
Let's try that. I got some water here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to tap it and add water at the same time. Shall we try that again? Okay, listen to how they sound
You
now.
got to be real quiet.
Here's the one filled with water. Here's the one that is empty. Which one's lower?
The one with the
More
water.
water. Very good. All right, let's try this again.
Can you play? Wait, can I hear the low one again
Sure.
and the high one? See, I think that's higher sounding to me.
This is higher.
Oh, okay, the
This
higher
is
one.
higher. That's lower.
Okay, and the one with the water
Is lower.
is okay. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
Let's try it again. Let's add water to the high.